Yeah, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Chukwunoso Charles of Icon. I shall be discussing legal implications of a contract or an agreement that is not reviewed by a lawyer. People always claim after I went to school, I've gone to school, I'm educated, I'm that, I can be able to handle it. But I don't know that a professional is a professional. Once a professional handles something, you know that this thing was handled by a profession. But once it was not handled by a profession, you will still notice that it was not handled by a professional. So what am I saying in effect is that any agreement that you want to write, if you don't want to have any issue, please kindly contact a lawyer. Either after writing it, let him review it. I have an example to give. I think there was a time one of my cousins, that I won't mention the name, it happened in Oka. He has a house, so actually he wanted to rent the house out with his friend. The thing happened in Oka, Nigeria. Government house, Oka, Nigeria. So I told him, I advised him to let's have an agreement because he's my cousin and he's my paddy. So I have to do it for him even free of charge. So I advised him. He said, no, this is my paddy. So I told him that the way you start things is not the way we end it. Especially when it comes to this kind of situation. No friendship in business. You may think that you're close with person, something can happen at the end. So after advising this, for the kind of closeness, our intimacy, and our relationship, he had to accept my advice. I drafted an agreement, landlord and tenancy agreement. I gave it to him. Do you believe that at the end they had issue? I smiled. So I said, do you remember that I told you that? They say yes. They started having issue. So that agreement that was drafted by me aided him. That was the help and the God he had when this was started. So the friend could not say anything due to an agreement and he signed it. So it is always good for you to have an agreement whenever you're having any contract, any business, any agreement. Oral agreement acceptable by the law, but note that it's not acceptable in land. But all oral agreement is not sufficient. It is better something is put down, if possible, or it is advisable for you to give a lawyer to review it. Because you may always say you know English. In law, there's what is called language. Language in law is quite different. For instance, there is difference between may, shall, and way in law. All of them are not the same thing. And when a layman may be using all of them at the same, there's many other things that we use that are not the same, that may implicate you during the time of reviewing your agreement in the law court. So depending on you, this is an advice. It's not by force. You're not forced to do it, but you are just being advised for you to bring your agreement to be reviewed by a lawyer. That's why I always ask people to have a family lawyer who they will always bring issues when issues arise, so that you not say you're spending much. When you have a family lawyer, you can be paying the family lawyer monthly, and it may not be much, and it will not be much for you maybe to hand, because once you don't have a family lawyer, once you have issue and bring to a lawyer, the money may be much. But once you have a family lawyer, you don't even need to pay him during the agreement to review. No, you don't even need to pay him, maybe, except you only pay him during the court. You cannot even need to pay him when you want to have any legal issue. So I advise everyone to have a lawyer when reviewing or when writing any agreement. Take the case of Oil and Gas Corporation versus Saw Pipe Limited. Take the case of Bafo versus Bafo. You see what happens there when there was not a lawyer. So it is always advisable and good and better for you to do what? Have a lawyer on your side when writing an agreement. Don't claim that you know it all. Once it is not your profession, it is not your profession. Once you don't know it, you don't know it. You cannot claim that you know what you don't know. Remember, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Thank you. Please subscribe. I still remain Chukwunoso Charles of Icon. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you.